Hi, today I wanted to talk to you about Bitcoin because it's the best investment that you're going to find in the year 2017. This is November of 2017, and Bitcoin has been spoken about for quite a long time. It's about 7 years. I think it was created around 2008, 2009, but as of what is it, August or September of 2017, I mean, the price is just going through the roof. And so that caused me to take another look at Bitcoin. I had looked at it a few years ago, and it seemed kind of neat. I didn't know what to think of it, didn't know what to do with it. I didn't buy any, unfortunately. I'd be a millionaire if I would have. But I started to look into it with this recent bump up to $5,000. And boy, I'm impressed. I'm really, really impressed. And here's the thing about Bitcoin. Besides the fact that it's going to strip a lot of people of their power and authority, it's going to change everything. This is something that doesn't happen very often. This is like an investment of a century. This is an investment that comes around once every 100 years. And I really advise people to get a couple $1,000s invested in Bitcoin and just keep it and don't touch it for 20 years. So the origin, the history behind Bitcoin is a little bit shady. Not many people understand its history, and I'm going to try to explain this the best that I can with the information that's available out there on the internet. So Newsweek and Forbes magazine both did an article on the creator of Bitcoin. The name is Satoshi Nakamoto, and this is the man that had the first, or the person that had the first bit of Bitcoin. Okay, now the second person, or I should say this, the first person to actually make the first reception of a Bitcoin, the receiving of a Bitcoin, was a guy named Hal Finney. And Hal Finney actually lived in Southern California, within 10 blocks of a guy named Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto. And that's the man that Newsweek did an article on. And Dorian has denied any involvement with Bitcoin. He says he has nothing to do with it, but not before they caught him saying, I quote, "I don't have anything to do with that anymore," end quote. So as I've been piecing together the history of Bitcoin, because it seems so important in this generation, I'm taking stuff from Newsweek, from Forbes, a little bit of a couple articles written on the internet, as well as the blockchain itself that says that Hal Finney had the first Bitcoin. Okay, and there's some forums in which Hal Finney and Satoshi Nakamoto have spoken. And so, anyway, this Dorian is denying any involvement with it. And so it's hard to get a history of this Bitcoin, and no one really knows who designed this program, this software. I'm just going to throw out what I think, and it's not fact. It's definitely not fact. I don't really know, but it's just my best guess. Oh, by the way, Hal Finney and Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto both worked for, or actually, I'm sorry, I don't know about Dorian. Hal Finney worked for PGP Corporation, which, as you know, is the leader in encryption emails and anything that's encrypted. PGP Corporation knows a lot about it. So this Bitcoin is encrypted using the same technology, and I found that interesting. So with Hal Finney working for PGP Corporation for so many years, I don't know how many, it's either 15 or 30 years, but it's quite a while, and him being involved in the very first few Bitcoin transactions, I'm kind of led to believe that Hal Finney did, and Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto both had something to do with this. I think that a couple men didn't create this. I think a corporation created this, and I'm just going to guess that the PGP Corporation might have been involved in the creation of Bitcoin. But I believe that they had Dorian and Hal Finney sign a non-disclosure agreement that would prevent them from discussing any of the details of Bitcoin's creation. And that's why I think they're not talking. That's why they're not saying anything. Actually, Hal Finney died a few years back. Dorian's still alive. He lives in Temple City, Los Angeles suburb. So there it is. That's all I have. That's just a best guess. But now to move on to the Bitcoin and the investment part, let me explain this. Bitcoin has got the infrastructure set in place. Dude, there's ATMs out there. There's an ATM Bitcoin out there somewhere where you can. I saw the video of a guy. He inserted American dollars, cash, into an ATM, and then it sent him electronically money into his Bitcoin wallet, his crypto wallet, and he showed it on camera. You could see the whole thing go down, and that was pretty interesting. So they already have these ATMs for Bitcoins. You can pull money out, you can put money in. Found that really, really exciting. Mark Cuban, who, as you know, was on the Shark Tank, he's one of the more pessimistic of investors in that group of Shark Tank. He's the one that, to me, it seems like he's more difficult to please. You can't feed him a line of shit. He knows his stuff, and he went on Vanity Fair magazine. He was on a Vanity Fair channel on YouTube, and he is advising people to spend 10% of their income and put it into Bitcoin if you're willing to make a risky play. He had to disclose that, of course, that it is risky, and he advised you not to put anything in it that you're not willing to lose. That's why I'm advising people to invest $2,000 in a Bitcoin, because it's smart, and just leave it there for 20 years, 15 or 20 years. This is going to take off, and I just want to explain that, you know, Warren Buffett is not a big fan of this, but he's looking at it as if it's an asset. It's a currency. It's completely different than an asset. We're not talking about gold here. This is currency. And I generally like Warren Buffett's investing skills. I think he's the best. And I model my investment behaviors off of Warren Buffett. But I don't agree with him about Bitcoin. I think this is going to be adopted. Also, and here's another reason, CNBC is pushing Bitcoin. If you watch their channel, I don't watch any mainstream media, but in my search for Bitcoin, I come up on the CNBC YouTube channel, and they're pushing Bitcoin. They're talking about the price going up. You have the media, major mainstream media outlets are pushing Bitcoin on people. JP Morgan created their own cryptocurrency called Quorum. Go to their website. Go to jpmorgan.com. You're going to see they have their own crypto, what's it called? Yeah, it's called Quorum. Russia, the Russia central banking system has their own cryptocurrency called, was it Master Chain? That's an English word, so I don't know about that. Bitcoin is poised to take off, and take off high. The infrastructure is set up, it's in place. Billionaires are talking about it, like Mark Cuban, and a lot of others that I don't have time to mention right now. Banks are looking into this. Corporations have spent millions of dollars looking into this. Listen up. Buy Bitcoin. It's going to take off. I promise you. I've never been so certain of anything in my life, but I am so certain that if you have $1,000 or $2,000 in Bitcoin, you're going to be a very happy person 10 years from now. Okay? And we'll talk more about Bitcoin in another video, and about the technology, and about crypto wallets, and the best kind of wallets, and we'll also talk about safety and security. Okay. This is Jack Winters signing off.